remembrances are of the Ohio State-Michigan game, the game. And I don't remember exactly when the first time I watched it on TV was. Back in the old days when I was growing up, there was a rule until TV was deregulated that you could play on TV 5 times every 2 years. That was the rule until 1983. You know, it's hard to believe. You know, there's 5 games every night, you know, now. But you could be on TV 5 times every 2 years, and of course, 2 of those 5, you know, were always the Ohio State-Michigan game. So growing up, you had a chance to see that. And what I recall about the Ohio State-Michigan day was that it was a real special day in our house. My dad was a football coach at Baldwin-Wallace College, and typically Division III, that was before the playoffs and all that, was done in the middle of November, and then that third weekend in November, when the Buckeyes and the Wolverines took the stage, that was really my dad's first day in the last 5 months that he spent with us, because that was just the nature of his job. And so that was kind of like a special day. We got to be with him on Saturday of the Ohio State-Michigan game and watch it on TV, and that was about the only time he ever talked about what Ohio State meant to him. I thought about telling the story about when my dad came out of high school and went to Ohio State, and I was thinking about that driving up, and I thought, you know, no one's old enough to remember that. And then I got here, there's a lot of you old enough to remember that. So I'm going to go ahead and tell that story. Some of you might remember it. But much like you were the player of the year in Ohio, weren't you? Yeah. My dad was the player of the year in Ohio in 1942. And he was the running back and he was player of the year. They didn't have a Mr. Ohio football then, but he was the player of the year. And so Paul Brown recruited him to go to Ohio State, and so he graduated early. You guys thought that graduated early stuff just started here in the last 10 years. He graduated early, from Ada High School. And he enrolled at Ohio State in the spring term of 1943. Well, many of you will recall that after the 1942 national championship that Ohio State won, most of the players enlisted to go to war.